Hi, well today I'm in the woodlands and what a lovely setting to have, learning a bit about coppicing, and I'm also learning a bit about fencing as well. Wonderful host David, and I'll put another film up on the fencing, but for today I'll just talk a little bit about the coppicing and show you around this lovely little bit of woodland. So just to explain what I mean by coppicing. The idea of coppicing is in this case it's chestnut. You cut it and you don't kill the stump off, so you cut all the branches etc that you want, but you leave the stump there and it re-sprouts and it regrows. So every sort of 10, 15, 20 years, depending what sort of size of wood you want, you can come back and cut some more and it just re-sprouts. This coppice has been done last year. It's a year's regrowth and it's sprouting. So if I show you down at ground level, here's a stump of what was another quite thick sort of chestnut tree coming up, gets cut off and then it re-sprouts off of the stump, and then in another 20 years or however long, 10 years, you can come back and do exactly the same thing again. So these stumps can be quite ancient, can be many hundreds of years old, and you just come back, keep cutting, and that's coppicing. It's a very effective woodland management. All sorts of things are made using the coppice material, and it can be anything from your garden bean row to your rose arch right through to garden furniture. Obviously fencing, a lot of fencing is made with coppice material, and it's a very sustainable way of working because it regrows, and a properly managed woodland will keep producing for many years. And some of these stalls could be actually extremely old. There used to be quite a large coppice industry in Kent for doing things like the iron industry for charcoal burning, and also, as I say, for things like the hot poles etc. The oak trees, under the old way of doing them, used to put about 8 an acre very roughly. You want to give enough space for the standard trees, the higher trees, to actually have room to spread and branch out, and of course not to overcrowd the coppicing underneath. So good old age-old systems, the way woodlands have been managed for years, but sadly more in decline, and also sadly not being done as well as David takes it. He takes great care and attention in his work, and he does manage wonderful woodland. So he has all sorts of rather clever coppicing devices, and there's one example here, which is this portable sawhorse, which you can slide out and makes the timber a nice height to work on. And then if you look carefully in here, you'll see he has a measuring stick. So this is an ordinary garden stake, but he uses it to actually measure most of the common products that he makes. So fence posts will be one height, gate posts another, and fencing, cross rails etc another height, and it's all marked off with a coloured tape. It just makes it easier. And what I found quite clever, on the end of his measuring pole he has this little bent nail, so he can put that onto the end of a piece of timber and measure straight off the end. So like that. You'd be holding it the other end obviously, but it then means you can cut down on one of your lines down there and get the exact length of timber cut. Quite an ingenious little tool, but quite a clever one. I was intrigued as to why there's a long-handled shovel, and apparently what it is, as I say, David is careful. He does burn all the waste, which is just as well, because the chestnut wouldn't rot down as quickly. And what he does, he lights a fire, and then rather than have to keep relighting a fire, he'll come back the following day and take a spade full of embers out of the fire that's been burning and make a new fire. So that's what the shovel's doing. It's simply just to keep the fires going. It's very nice walking out in this area. David was saying that he's quite particular about which areas he cuts when. So this is an area inside the woodland, and he'll give this a little bit of chance to regrow before cutting an area of woodland on the surrounding area. And the reason for that is that you want to let the younger shoots get established and start growing happily before they're exposed to more wind, because obviously once you cut one of the other cants, just say behind, so I'll swing round, but if you said a cant behind me there, you wouldn't want to cut that until these have got a bit more established. I like that they're being protected. So again, it's just really thinking about how you manage nature and get it working with you. I hope you enjoyed a little walk around this lovely woodland and finding out a little bit about coppicing. Thanks very much for watching. Bye bye.